How much have you changed?
I'm subtle now. I'm not as blunt because before I really stay my mind. No, I don't like that. You know, I like this. And if I like it, I really like it. I'm very black and white as well. So I've come to a point where I understand. I call it a port city where everyone just comes in, start a new life, and you'd have to try to find your compromise, you know. I still like to hold on to my values and, some traditions and cultures because I respect that and it's me, it's who I am. And so that's why I try to share to my kids as well. But there are things that I like as well, perhaps, you know, um, as long as you know where you stand and as long as I think it's good and it does good to people, well, sure. But I'm still very frank and very, if you're my friend, I always tell if you're my friend, can I tell you this?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
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 What tips would you give to someone who is finding it difficult to meet new friends in Canada?
I always say be intentional. Okay, so for example, we have moved from Victoria to Yaletown to Falls Creek to Richmond, and now we're in Langley, right? I always tell my kids, new neighborhood, make friends, I mean, you can still see your old friends, but it's not easy now, right? Even though it's only 20-minute drive, it's still not easy with a busy life. And so when we moved to Langley, it was the hardest for our second child, Sophia and Luca, because from Richmond, where we're in the center and everyone just revolves around us. Everybody knew us. It's the Stewart's home. We go to Luca and Sophia's home, even though they're new or older. All kids come to our home. I have an open home. So I tell everyone, you're my friend, just come. You don't have to make an appointment. If I'm home, great. If I'm not home, tell me that you're coming, things like that. It's like that. I like that culture. I find that when I was in Victoria, I would make an appointment for tea. People like having tea there. It's like, hey, Joy, you want to have tea? Like, sure. And then they would do a rain check. I said, what is this rain check? Like, Joy, can we do this some other time? Something come up on the day, sometimes on the hour, and I'm already there. I didn't like that at all. And that really ticked me. I said, people are so fickle, And so I teach my kids, like, don't be like that. Be intentional. Yes, of course, if you're sick and you had an accident, maybe that's a good excuse. But if you just have a little, you make that work. You have to respect that person's time. And so when we went to Langley, both my younger kids, they're just like crying, Mommy, we have no friends because we're in the farm. we're in no neighborhood. So we connected ourselves to a church. And now we have this amazing group. It's almost like we've known each other for so long. It's almost the same experiences I had that we're looking for a community. So we found each other. So I think that's a blessing in disguise. And now my kids loves it there.
And now with 3 kids and a business and a Canadian husband, well, Scottish, but
yeah, he's just like Raquel, our first daughter. He came here when he was 6 months, so he's basically Canadian. Yeah.
What is next for you? Are you content with your life?
Yes, I am content in the form of I never really imagined what's the end like, but I've always imagined that I will do something with what skills and talents that God gave me. And so I am content that I believe in God. And so I am content that somehow I'm doing something with it. It's not going to waste. But on the other hand, there's a lot more to do. And so I keep myself very, very busy. So I'm helping my daughter with her business that she has started a few years ago. And then now we're starting another business, to help the community where we are at. So I'm juggling again.
Always looking for something new?
Yes, always trying to reach out. It's not more for us, it's more for just that connection that I think as human beings, we really need that valuable connection.
Yeah.
You know, if we lose that, it's almost, we feel displaced. And for me anyways, you know, living alone in Japan without my family, I feel very lonely. And I wouldn't want that for anyone. But if you find a community for immigrants that basically came here, their family is far, far away, but if they're able to form a community, it's like your second family. That's beautiful.